Right, welcome back to excuse me, another game of drive-by-drive football from Clark and Addison Gaming Company. And my name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer here at Clark and Addison, and I'll be taking you through the latest edition of a new football game. I don't know if it should be something like Road to the Title, Road to the Championship, something like that. Maybe that'd be a good name for it. I'll have to check that out. But I'll be playing the first three games from the University of Texas Longhorns schedule this year, and we'll see how they fare. I've gone ahead and I'll walk you through some of the different things I've done. This is what I'm calling the advanced chart. This is more of the basic chart here. It's an old version, but the basic chart is most of the results are not split results. So this would be more like I just want to sit back and watch the game happen, which is what I've been showing you. But this one has a lot more choice for the gamers. So you can see here, you roll and it's 3rd and 9. You have to choose to run a pass play or a draw play, and then depending on what you run, you roll a d10 and you figure out what the play is. And so there's lots of those throughout here. Do you take the long field goal or do you punt? Which has, punting downs them inside the 5-yard line and the opponent gets a -1 to their drive. Or you can try, a long field goal. It's a 40% chance of making it. So there's, some options for you to try, and you're thinking about game situations and stuff like that. So a little bit of a, do you go 4th and 2? Do you go for a quarterback sneak or do you go for a pass? So there's a big chance for a touchdown. But here with the quarterback sneak, it's a 70% chance of getting a first down, and then you can roll again. It may not necessarily mean that when you roll again, you get a better result, but it keeps the drive alive. Or you can go for the big play, or it could lead to it's a catch and run for a TD or a 50%, 60% chance of an interception. So you have some choices to make along the way, and it's sort of risk reward, and how do you want to handle that? So I try to make those as sensible as possible, but when people begin playing it, you can let me know. There's a fumble return here on the red zone fumble. So one is a fumble return for a TD, and otherwise the opponent gets momentum. They get a +1 for the opponent's drive. And I put in an onside kick, so that was requested by someone on YouTube. If you have any suggestions, by the way, you can put them down in the comment section, things that may be missing. Keep talking about safeties. I'll have to find a way to get there. Maybe this 2 result will have kind of a split result. One will be a safety, one will be a pick 6. We have our PAT tries here and our onside kicks. These are our drive modifiers based on team ranking. And home field advantage is a -1 to the visiting team. And then this is new as well. So we're going to roll these 2 dice here, and that's going to give us a 2 to 20 roll. We're going to roll them at the same time. So we'll just roll all 4 of these together. These dice will go to the drive results or the key play. These will go to the penalties. And if it's a 2, it'll be an offensive injury, and it'll be -1 on the drives for that offense for the rest of the half. If it's a 5, it's an offensive penalty. The defense can take the penalty and force a punt, or they can decline and take the play results. Or so, if it happens to be quarterback sneak and you wind up with a turnover on downs, but there's a penalty on the offense, defense can decline and take that penalty, or they can, do whatever. Or let's say it's a red zone trip ends with a chip shot field goal. They are going to want to probably take that penalty, right? And then that forces a punt. So you just kind of think through those things. 17 is a defensive penalty, which is the opposite. So the offense can take the penalty and roll again, or they can decline and take the play result. So if the play result is a touchdown, you probably want to decline that penalty so that you can just go ahead and take the touchdown. And then a defensive injury on a 20 means the opponent gets a +1 to all their drives for the rest of the half. So could be some big swings. I've got this here just in case I need to, like mark and try to remember where I am. I don't know. I haven't played this yet with this style, so this is all going to be new to me. It might be a little bit slow here at the first, but we got a good one. It's number 1 Texas at number 3 OSU. So Ohio State at the Horseshoe in Columbus, Ohio. This game was, I believe, 14-7 at the end, and we'll see if we have that kind of battle here. If you have not subscribed to the channel, click on subscribe. We've passed 440 subscribers, so big thank you to everyone who has gotten us to that number. 450 is the next big number in front of us. So every time you subscribe, it tells Google this is high quality content and begins to share it to more and more people. Every time you click that thumbs up, if you like the video, it also sends good vibes to Google to share this with more and more people. And it's not necessarily just for me to make a bunch of money or anything, but every time someone does well on YouTube and YouTube gets a whiff of what they're doing and shows it to more people, that means more people are exposed to the hobby. So just kind of think of it that way. And just generally helping out someone who is giving you content that you enjoyed is sort of just a gift we can give back to each other. So we're creating content, you're consuming it. If you give a thumbs up at the very least, it helps us, it helps everybody, and kind of a good gesture. It also helps the creator just to know that, you're putting things out there into the ether and people are actually enjoying them. All right, let's get into this. We'll see if I can get through all 3 games. So we got Ohio State first, San Jose State at home, and then UTEP at home. So we'll see how this goes for the Horns. They came out of this stretch 2-1 and lost to OSU in the first game of the season. All right, let's do our matchups. So we are top 10 versus top 10. So there's no bonus, although Texas is going to get a -1 for being the away team. All right, so let's get into this one. I'm going to roll to see who gets possession first. Don't necessarily have to do this. We'll just do it this way. High roll wins. It is Texas. Texas is going to take the first possession. And let's go ahead and go with that. So we're looking at these 2 dice here. That was a 7. So 7-1 is 8. 8 minus 1 is 7. So we have an 8-play drive. Dies near midfield. We're going to get a 1d10 for a punt result. We don't have anything here, so no 2, 5, 17, or 20. So we'll do the d10 here. It's a 3, and a 3 is an average punt. So OSU will take the ball. And we have a 14. So they're straight up on a 14. Quarterback hurried on a 3rd and long. There's no penalty or injury. So we're going to roll a d10 for the result. A 7. Quarterback sack. They have to settle for a short field goal. So a good defensive stand by the Horns. They're down 3-0 now as we go to the back half of the first quarter. Texas with the ball. They've got a 13 becomes 12. We have a 12 there. So 12 is a sack on 3rd down, sets up a 42-yard field goal attempt. 1-6. It'll be good. Oh, man, and they missed the field goal. So 3-0 is our score as OSU dodges a bullet there. Last drive of the first quarter, it's going to be a 7. 7 is going to be the punt. We have an 8 here, so nothing there. So the punt result, a 7 is going to be a normal punt. And this one, just like in our real life, has started out as a bit of a defensive battle. Texas with the ball starting the second quarter. They're having a 7. 7 becomes 6. 2nd and 4 from near midfield. So this is the first chance we have to make a choice. We can run the ball or we can run a trick play with the flea flicker. This looks like it's going to be let's go and take the sure thing. This is going to be a defensive battle. So we're going to take the running play. And we roll 1 to 8 is going to be a first down. We get to roll again. Oh, so it's 7. So we get to roll again. It could have been a fumble for a TD. 7 becomes 6. We're going to be faced with the same choice again, except we have a 5. There's going to be an offensive penalty. And so let's go ahead and roll it out. Let's do the trick play this time. 1 to 3 is a passing TD. Oh, yes, the flea flicker works. But we have an offensive penalty, so the defense can take the penalty and force a punt, and that's what they're going to do. So, taking it back. Oh, that's killer. As we get a hold on the offense, and that's going to negate the penalty. They wind up having to punt. We get an 18 for OSU. Flag thrown on a 40-yard TD pass. We're going to assign the penalty. If it's 5 to 10, it's a penalty on the defense, and that'll be a long TD pass for OSU. It's a 7, and that's what happens. So OSU with the 6. The extra point is going to be good, and they take a 10-0 lead into the back half of the second quarter. So last drive of the half for the Horns. They're down 10-0, and they need some kind of spark here. 7 is not going to do much. 8-play drive ends near midfield, and we're going to look at the Longhorn dice, or die. A 3 is a normal punt, as they are forced to punt again. Arch looking as bad on paper as he did in the actual game. So let's see. We have a 5. 5 is going to be a quick 3 and out, and the opponent's going to, it says it gets an extra drive, but when it's the last possession here, that's not going to matter for anything. So we'll call that a punt to end the first half, and OSU is going to start with the ball in the second half as Texas shut out in the first half. They're down 10-0 to OSU here in the first, at the end of the half. So coming out of the half, it'll be Ohio State with the ball and a 10-0 lead. We get an 8 for OSU. 4th and 2. We got a 6 here, so that doesn't mean anything. 4th and 2. Quarterback sneak or play action. We're going to go for the quarterback sneak. We'll be reading the red die. 1 to 7 is a first down. We can roll again. It's a 10, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. We'll just call that downs. And Texas with the ball. So first chance for Texas in the second half is a 19. That's really high. Nothing on the injury penalty roll. 19 becomes 18. So we got a chance here. A 1 to 4. We're going to wind up with a field goal, but it could be a touchdown pass. 60% chance of that. It's a 3. Penalty on the offense. There's no TD. The drive stalls, but they do get on the board with a field goal. So first points for Texas here in the second half as OSU takes their 6th drive of the game. Remember, each team gets 8 drives, so these two together. A 9 is nothing on that roll. So a 10 will be a blitz on 3rd and short. We're going to roll a D10. A fumble or a defensive stop leads to a punt. So one thing or the other. 3 is a defensive stop. The drive results in a punt. And it'll be Texas with the ball. That's more of a flavor roll, I guess. We have a 13 becomes a 12. Sack on 3rd down sets up a field goal attempt. It's a 9, and that's going to be another missed field goal. Man, just missed opportunities here. For the Longhorns, they missed 2 field goals that would have given them That would have put them fairly close to the lead, I guess, almost tied. OSU with the ball. This is the last 2 drives for each team. 10 will be a blitz on 3rd and short. That's a 16, not a 17. And for OSU, it's a fumble to the defense. So Texas with the big defensive play. And they're still within striking distance. A touchdown will put them tied. We get a 9. That's going to be an 8. 4th and 2 to go. We have a 7 here, so nothing. 4th and 2, we quarterback sneak or play action. We're going to go with the play action pass. We're looking at the brown die. A 1 to 4, that's a catch and run for a touchdown. If not, it's an interception. Oh, yes. Arch Manning with the medium pass, the catch, the run to the house. And that is 6 points. The onside kick is good. And Texas starts the 4th with a bang. It is OSU's time to respond. They have basically this drive left to do something on offense. Let's see if they can make a play. It is not going to be great for them. They have a fumble in the red zone, and there's an opportunity for Texas here. As you can see, a fumble return for a TD, or otherwise it's going to be the opponent gets momentum +1 on the next drive. So that would negate their -1 that they have to keep doing. So let's see what happens. We're looking at the red die. No fumble return for a TD, but that's 2 fumbles here in the second half as OSU comes out with nothing. So we've had some miscues here based on the defense, but Texas, they negate their -1 advantage as they get a +1 on the next drive, and they'll be even Steven. So let's see if they're able to put in a field goal or a touchdown to win this one and change history. A 7, 8-play drive, dies near midfield, and we get a punt result. Let's see if there is a some kind of strange play here. A punt block for a TD would end the game. Punt return for a TD would end the game. So a 1 or a 10, and this game is over. We're looking at the red die. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no. Punt block. The defense returns it for a TD. Oh, gosh. So OSU with the punt block. It's a walk-off winner as they score 6. They're going to kick the extra point. It's good. Oh, my gosh. I can't believe it. And with a 17-10 win, a walk-off on the punt block, and Texas is going to drop this one by a score 17-10. All right, let's go to San Jose State and Texas. Texas is going to have to shake off that loss. That's a tough one, as we'll get them with the blue die. All right, Texas is a top 10 team against an unranked team. That's a +2 to Texas. And San Jose State is going to get a -1 as they are the visiting team. So going to be a rough one for them. Let's see who gets the ball first. It will be San Jose State. And for the Spartans, we get a 5, quick 3 and out. So punt here, and then Texas is going to get the next 2 drives. So this is the way we're going to do it. We just give Texas the next 2 drives, and we'll see how that goes for them. It is a 13, becomes a 15, hurry up tempo drive, TD on a seam pass, and that's going to be a TD pass. For the Horns, let's see if Manning can get it figured out in this game. 7-0 is our score, and the Horns are going to have the ball again. This is 11 becomes 12, a sack on a 3rd down. Will set up a long attempt, and 8 is going to be another missed field goal. Tough. So San Jose State with the ball, and they're down by a touchdown. 6 becomes a 5. That's another punt with a 3 and out. 11-0 on that roll. So 3 and out for San Jose State. Texas is going to get the next 2 drives. So right now they're at 4-2 drives for Texas against San Jose State. So that's kind of how that is an advantage for the team. 5 becomes 7. Drive dies near midfield. We have a 5. 5 is an offensive penalty, so the defense can take the penalty or not. So we'll just reserve that, and we'll see what the play is. It's a punt anyway, so probably not a big deal. We're looking at the brown die. 9 is going to be a normal return, and the defense is going to decline the penalty because it's not going to change anything. And these are kind of like power plays, I guess you think about that. They get like multiple opportunities here. A 15 becomes a 17. A zone read, breaks loose, long touchdown run. There's a defensive penalty, so the offense can take the penalty or decline it. They're going to decline this one and take the touchdown run. And that's going to lead to 6 points for the Horns. And 11 is a good extra point. And they are up 14-0 here in the second quarter. San Jose State with the ball. They're down by 2 touchdowns. This one is an 18. 18 minus 1 is 17. And that's going to be, possible touchdown. We have an offensive penalty. So this is a touchdown for San Jose State. Long TD run, but there was an offensive penalty. We'll call a hold at the line of scrimmage. And so the defense, Texas, is going to take that penalty and force a punt. So that's a bit of a crying shame there for San Jose State as they finally broke one, but they had to hold somebody to do it. Texas with the last drive of the half. 7 becomes a 9. 1st and 10. Do we go deep or short? So if it's a deep pass, DB is burned for a TD 60% of the time. Otherwise, it's an interception. If we go short, the drive in will end in a field goal, but there's a chance that it'll end in a punt. So we're at home. We have a lead so far. Let's go ahead and try to put the nail in the coffin. We'll go with the deep pass, 1-6. It'll be a deep TD pass. It's a 6, and that's going to be over the top for Arch Manning. And Texas will take. Oh no, they missed the extra point. So that's just 6 points here. So 20-0 is going to be our score at the half. Texas leads, and they are going to get the ball in the second half. Right now you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possessions for Texas, only 3 for San Jose State. And that's the effect of this this extra drive, the quick 3 and out. So 20-0 Texas with the ball. 8 becomes 10. 10 blitz on 3rd down and short. And let's see, it'll be a 5. So there's an offensive penalty. Not really going to do anything to stop anything here. So it'll be a fumble. And that goes to the defense. Texas with the fumble. And the defense is going to decline the penalty. And they'll take the fumble. Maybe there should be some sort of +1 or something there for that. 12 minus 1 is 11. 9-play drive reaches the edge of field goal range. Do you take the field goal or do you pin them down? They need points here. We get a 14. That's nothing. They need points. So 1-4 is going to be a long field goal make. Looking at the blue die. Oh, they missed. And Texas still with the shutout going. They're up 20-0 in this one. 9 becomes 11. They have the same choice, but we have a 5 here, so that's going to be an offensive penalty. And what we're going to do is we'll just go ahead and take the penalty. We're going to force a punt out of Texas. So San Jose State with the ball. Both teams shut out here in the third. This will be an 11. 11 becomes 10. Blitz on third and short. We have an 11 here. And that'll be a defensive stop. The drive results in a punt. Getting a little defensive here in the second half. Texas with the ball and a 20-point lead against the Spartans. 16 becomes 18. Flag thrown on a long TD pass. Nothing on the injury or penalty roll. 1-4, it'll be a field goal. 5-10, that's what it is. It's going to be a penalty on the defense. So on a long TD pass, Texas is going to take the lead. There's no need to go for two here. They're just going to kick the extra point. And they score here in the fourth. It's now 27-0. Texas over San Jose State. San Jose State with their third drive of the second half. That's a 4. That was a 12. Sack on third down. We have a 7 here. So sack on third down sets up a 42-yard field goal attempt. A 7 is going to be just wide. So field goal missed. No points. And Texas preserves the shutout. Last drive for the Horns. 17 becomes 19. Outside run goes the distance for a long run. But we got a 5. It's an offensive penalty. And the defense is going to call that one back. So that's 2, 1 for each team that's been called back. So they're going to have to punt. And that erases 7 points off the board. And it'll be San Jose State with the ball. A 12 becomes an 11. So we're going to go for the field goal. They have a 9 there, so that doesn't mean anything. 1-4, it'll be a made field goal, and they will eschew the shutout. It's missed. So Texas with a terrific job there. They are going to cause the missed field goal, and that's going to be a 27-0 routing of San Jose State, which San Jose State scored a couple times, I think. But they did in this game too, but we just happened to roll the penalty. So that's how that worked out. This game is going to wind up the same. Top 10 versus an unranked. +2 to the top 10 team and a -1 to the team on the road. This will be the UTEP Miners. Let's roll for the high. Actually, let's change out their die. We have an orange one here for UTEP. UTEP is going to get the ball first. This is University of Texas at El Paso. First drive for UTEP is going to be a 7. Becomes a 6. 2nd and 4. They're going to choose. Let's choose the safe play, and they'll choose to run the ball. 1-8 is a first down and another roll. It's a 13. So I guess I didn't need to roll these 13. So we get a first down. Now we roll again. And a 10 becomes a 9. 1st and 10. Do we pass deep? We have a defensive penalty. Let's go ahead and throw deep. We know we got the penalty, so let's go with the deep ball. And we got an opportunity here, 1-6. And it's a 9. 9 is going to be an interception, but because of the defensive penalty, we could take the shot. And so we're going to decline the defensive or take the defensive penalty, and we'll roll again. So Texas not looking great here. 14 becomes 13. That's a red zone trip. Ends with a chip shot field goal. And so after all that, UTEP with a 3-0 lead. Texas with their first possession. They get a +2 modifier. 9 + 2 is 11. So they get to the edge of glory. And will they take a long field goal or punt? They got to go for the field goal. 1 to 4, it's a make. We're looking at the brown die. And that's going to be a missed field goal. If they were playing a stronger team, maybe you take the coffin corner punt. UTEP, 17 becomes 16. Long drive, 12 plays, 15 on the injury roll. And that's going to be a TD as they chew up some clock and take it all the way down the field on the Horns. They have a 10-0 lead right now. And the next possession has to be skipped. So UTEP with the ball and a 10-point lead. 8 becomes a 7. 7 is a drive that's going to get to midfield. We're going to have a punt. 1 or a 10 is a TD for the Horns. It's a 6. That's going to be a normal punt. And Texas needs to get on the stick. So they have not really threatened. They had a field goal miss on their first drive. A 9 + 2 is 11. Another one where they get to the edge of field goal range. This time they're going to go for the field goal again. They got to get some points. A 7. I'm sorry, a 2. 2 is a field goal made. So they hit on the field goal. They were shut out in the first quarter. They get 3 here on their first drive in the second quarter. And it'll be UTEP ball. With a 10-3 lead, 10 becomes 9. And we have a 17 here. So a defensive penalty. Same thing. We're going to go for the long pass because the penalty is on the defense. So we already know that they jump off sides. It's a 4. That's a deep touchdown as the DB gets burned. And on 1st and 10, we get a touchdown pass for the Miners. Wow. A 17 is a defensive penalty, so the offense can take it and roll again or decline and take the play result. So they see the offsides, they chunk it up deep, and they get all the way through to the end zone for the touchdown. UTEP taking it to the Horns at home, threatening. And Texas is going to have to do something here. They have one more drive in this half, and then they'll get the ball first in the second half. They're down by a score of 17-3. Going to have to make a comeback. 13 becomes 15. That's a hurry-up drive at the end of the half. Results in a TD pass at just a few seconds before the end of the half. They put up the extra point, and it's good. So they score 10 in the second quarter. They are down by 7. So 17-10 at the half, and Texas is going to get the ball back. And let's see if the power of this +2 - 1 is going to help them in the second half as they start out with their first drive. 9 becomes 11. 11 is going for a field goal. Let's go ahead and put them down. We still have time left in the game. Only down by 7. Let's punt them inside the 5. It's going to be a -1 to the next drive. So there's nothing left to do. San Jose. Oh, UTEP. And we'll just indicate there's a -1 here. So really, they're going to be a -2 on this drive. 7 - 2 is a 5. That's a quick 3 and out. This is going to be good for Texas. So we get a punt here. We get a punt here. And we are going to have Texas get the next 2 drives. So the quick 3 and out, they get 2 consecutive drives. This was a 3, so no injury on the play. And oh, wow, a 20 from Texas. Play action bomb. That's a 16. Misses our defensive penalty. So a play action bomb on the first drive or first play of the drive. That's going to be a long touchdown pass for the Horns as they get the post route and they go over top of the defense. That will be good for 6. And a 5 is going to tie the ball game here in the third. And Texas is going to get another drive. So 2 consecutive drives for the Horns. 10 becomes 12. sack on third down sets up a field goal attempt. We have a 15 here, so nothing. 1 to 6, it's good. We're looking at the brown die. 9, that's going to be another missed field goal. As the Horns come up with 1 touchdown, but no more. And so UTEP is going to get the ball back. This will be in the fourth quarter. They're shut out in the third. We're all tied up at 17, and UTEP with the ball. 9 becomes 8. 4th and 2. We have a 12 here. So 4th and 2, quarterback sneak or play action. They're going to go for it all. 1 to 4, that's a catch and run for a long touchdown. So they're just going for it here in the fourth. It's 2, and oh my gosh. So play action pass on 4th and 2. They catch the Horns napping, and that's going to be a touchdown pass as UTEP providing the fight. And they're going to take a 7-point lead here in the fourth. Texas with their first drive of the fourth. Let's see if they can respond. It's a 6. 6 becomes an 8. They have the same choice. It's an 11 here. Same choice. They're going to go for the quarterback sneak, try to make this continue forward. 1 to 7. They get it. And so they're going to roll again. A 5 becomes a 7. They're going to get a punt. We have a 6 on the roll. So a punt, 1 or a 10 is really bad. Oh no. It's a 10. That's a punt return for a TD. Oh my gosh. Texas is going to go down to the UTEP Miners. Punt return, TD, and that's going to be your ball game right there. Texas has no way to come back. And that will be 14 points. Let's see if Texas can score. We'll give them the onside chance and 1 play. 8 becomes 10. 10 is a blitz on 3rd and short, and that's not going to do anything as they have a defensive stop. So we'll call that downs. And Texas is going to take an L at home as they give up 14 points in the second half. A punt return for a TD and a touchdown pass on 4th down and 2 as UTEP goes for it, and they hit on the play action pass. What a crazy game. So we have 28-31 to 17. And that's going to be your first 3 games. So you can see that this is quite a bit different than the one where we just kind of watch them go through. You have to make some choices here based on game situation and things like that, but hopefully it all makes sense. And we have our injury and penalty roll, which that did come into effect, especially this 5 and 17. We didn't have any injuries, but we did have some penalties that brought back TDs for both teams. And really cool. It feels more like a game where you don't quite know the outcome. A little bit less like racking up a score and a little bit more like playing a game. So let me know what you think about this version. Is this something you're interested in? And if so, just let me know that down in the comments. Again, if you haven't subscribed, click on subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You can join the Facebook group by going to Facebook groups, looking up Clark and Addison Gaming Company, and you can join us over there. That's typically where things get posted first. Sometimes it's the only place where things get posted. And so I'll probably be putting this video over there today. You get all the announcements first, usually about a week ahead of everybody else. You know when new seasons are coming out and things like that. I have polls, questions that I ask. There are other gamers who are playing my games who are there sharing their content or asking questions. And so just a place to join into the Clark and Addison community. And go to clarkandaddisongaming.com. Actually see the games that we have available. Basketball, football, baseball, we have games for everything. Jason Flash Football on YouTube is replaying Play Action Football, which is a full play football game. And it is the 1978 set that I just released. And so he's been playing that a little bit on his table. And you can check out how that game plays as well. All right. I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.